Hi, this is Emily Leiphart of Art from the Heart, and this video is part of a hop celebrating 7,000 subscribers on Laura Sterckx's YouTube channel. A big congratulations to Laura on this amazing milestone. There are many talented artists on this hop, as well as generous sponsors and prizes you can win by commenting on all the videos along this hop. The main character in my cute little friendship card will be the hippo from the Wish Big stamp set from Essentials by Ellen. I'll also be using its coordinating die set, as well as 3 flowers from the Walled Garden die set. I'll be using the flowers as marshland plants around the hippo. To anchor all the elements, I'm going to use the MFT Snowdrifts dies to create 2 layers of water. I'm starting with an A2 linen card base that opens at the bottom. I've cut 2 layers of water from basil cardstock in Robin's Egg and Candy Necklace, and I'm layering them like so. I won't be adhering any of the layers to the card base until I know the exact placement of all the elements. This way, I'll be able to visualize the entire scene and avoid mistakes with the adhesives. Now I'm going to stamp the hippo on its coordinating die cut using Memento Tuxedo black ink. I'll be coloring the hippo with 4 neutral gray Copic markers. First, I'm using N0 to color in the entire hippo. Then I use N1, 2, and 3 to add shading. I cover a wider area using N1, then less and less as I use N2 and 3. Finally, I go back and seamlessly blend all of the shades together using N0 and the hippo is done. Next, I place the hippo in the waves to see how it should look and whether I need to place it in the background or in between the 2 layers. In the end, I decide that it looks best behind both layers. I've cut the 3 flowers from Walled Garden in 3 shades of pink basil cardstock: Cotton Candy, Candy Hearts, and Lollipop. I'm arranging them in their color groups and then dispersing them on both sides of the hippo, between the water layers, the way marshland plants would randomly grow. I'm going to really speed this part up because there's a lot of mixing and matching and moving the flowers around. I don't want it to look too organized, but I still want it to look nice and neat. I'm going to let that sit while I think about whether I like the flower arrangement and decide on a sentiment. I'm going to use 2 stamps from the Amazing Women stamp set to create a sentiment that says, "You are the most amazing friend." I changed the position of the sentiment a couple of times before deciding that the hippo needs to be centered. That will help with the flower arrangement as well as the placement of the sentiment. I line up the 2 stamps on my grid mat, pick them up with my acrylic block, ink it up with VersaFine Onyx Black pigment ink, and stamp it right in the center of the card. As I'm fiddling with the flowers again, I notice that there's a big white space in the top left-hand corner. I'm thinking about adding some gold stars, but I'm not sure I want to go that bold. There's already a lot going on with the colors and layers, so I think I'll just die cut stars out of the card base itself. That will give the card that extra bit of visual interest and fill the void without adding too much in terms of embellishments. I'll be using 3 of the stars from Home and Hearth. I already had one of them completely separated, but I'm going to separate the other 2 because I want them further apart. I make sure to snip those wires cleanly, otherwise it'll leave an ugly indentation in the cardstock. This is especially important when using the negative of a die cut, as I'm doing here. I place the stars, hold them onto the card base with washi tape, and run it through my Big Shot. Then I carefully peel off the washi tape, and I'm left with the negative shape of the stars. Now it's time to start adhering all the layers to the card base. I start by applying foam tape to the backs of the water waves. I'm not pressing anything down firmly just yet, since I know I'll be sliding some of the flowers behind these panels. I use micro glue dots to adhere the flowers. There are parts of the flowers that hide the dots perfectly. I love using micro glue dots when I can because it's so much easier than using liquid adhesive, plus it adds that tiny bit of dimension. Sometimes I layer 2 or 3 glue dots for popping up elements. It's not quite as thick as foam tape, but fun for something in between. After finagling with the flowers some more, I decide that I need more of the cotton candy color in the foreground. I re-die cut the smallest flower on the bottom left and replace it. Now I'm finally ready to finish adhering the flowers. I do use a bit of liquid adhesive to adhere the foremost flower since it's sitting right on top of that front panel. I hold it down for a few seconds to let the glue dry. Here I'm cutting a tiny square piece of foam tape to place behind the top of the middle flower on the left, since it's suspended between the two wave layers and needs support. After all the flowers are adhered, all I have to do is snip off the overhanging stems. I tried to get the scissor tips in between those layers so that nothing hangs out. Then I snipped that front piece from the back side to make sure it lines up with the edge of the front panel. Now my card is done. Definitely visit my blog for details about this hop and all the prizes you can win. Be sure to click on the link in the video description below to head on over to Julia Altermann's YouTube channel and the fabulous videos she's created for this hop. Please refer to the supply links below if you're interested in any of the products I used in this video. You can also visit my blog for stills and more information about my work. Thanks so much for watching.